indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?
Hello everyone, my name is Jamar Jabari, and welcome to another episode of Jabari Vlog Podcast, where we cover music, politics, and culture. And once again, we are on another scene episode, which I've been trying to get done a lot more, so this is great. And we have this amazing, she wears a lot of hats. If you want to introduce yourselves, you are the owner of the table and the gallery. Yes. I'm all nervous now.
Yes, so thank you for having me. My name is Sonal Soveni, and I'm the founder and owner of the Table and Gallery.
Yes, and Sonal Soveni, I met her. When did I saw you before, and I didn't meet you until the hip hop event that you had. I think I saw you at Zakara's.
At Zakara's event, and
first.
did you come to Creative Revolution around the holidays?
No.
In December? So you came like 2024?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's when we met and you were taking pictures.
Yes.
And I said, hey, you're a photographer.
Right. And I was like, yeah, somewhat of, yeah.
But, okay. You know, this is what happens when you are wearing the hats 24/7. The phone goes off.
Right,
and I'm going to put the phone on the ringer.
Speaking of many hats, how do I begin this? How did you get started in art and film?
So, okay, I'm not going to say but I'm an artist. It started at a very early age, and I loved art. I was, just always a creative person growing up. But I grew up in a very traditional household where art was not embraced as heavily. And, when I showed so much interest in art, the response was, it's not going to pay your bills. So you need to go to business school and, focus on basically what's going to pay. And that's, as time went by, it was during the pandemic, and I'm sure many people had this moment where, what is my purpose? What is fueling me? And that's when I started reflecting back and thinking, okay, what is it that I love to do? And I kid you not, that was when I picked up the paintbrush, and I was also going through a very difficult time, a very dark period in my life, and I needed to figure out how I was going to process this in solitude, alone, without the help of anyone but myself. And that's when I just started discovering my passion for art all over again. And as a filmmaker, so I've been to New York. I'm a graduate of New York Film Academy, and when I was at the New York Film Academy, there was an established film director that saw my work, saw my editing, and just the way I was narrating and shooting my short films. He took me under his wings and mentored me and taught me the ins and outs of the film industry, of editing.
Wow.
And next thing you know, me running around for free, not getting paid for working on his film set when he was shooting, $1 million films.
Wow.
He said, sometimes you have to do things that you don't like. And yes, I had to run around, get coffee, and deal with the actors, and be, the gaffer, doing lighting, the unpleasant side of the industry. And then I realized, okay, I'm learning a lot of valuable lessons behind the scenes. Fast forward, he said, I think you're at the right mindset, the right experience, the right knowledge. Why don't you become a partner? So, he took me under his wing, and that's when I started learning the ins and outs of the film industry. And we have worked on, I would say, over a dozen feature films, have distributed films on Amazon and Netflix. A lot of the films highlight, injustices, social causes,
Nice.
Injustice, especially when it comes to gender inequality and, economic downturns in various countries. So that just brought me a lot of, I would say, experiences, but knowledge and awareness on how to be creative with limited resources, especially when you're shooting in foreign countries. And it exposed me to different mindsets, exposed me to just how people maneuver, but I also understood that it's a very male-dominated industry. So for me to have a voice or, just a say in anything, it just took a lot of persuasion. So it was like me
Oh,
constantly
wow.
persuading, like, I think you should do it this way, and this doesn't really. So with my mindset, dealing with different mindsets, I said, you know what, I will still go ahead and support this film production, but I decided to start my own film production, which was more in alignment with what I believed in. And at that time, it was the arts, and I felt that each medium had a story to tell. And I said, I want to focus behind the artist's story, because I think the artist's story is very compelling, what they're going through and how they're processing it. And for me, it was processing my PTSD through
Right.
art. I said, you know what, I don't want to do talk therapy. I don't want to do, something where I have to repeat my traumas. I just want to process it, and art was what helped me process it. And with my experience in the hospitality industry,
Yeah.
growing up in it, it's what I know. I know the restaurant industry, and I also know that it can be very toxic, especially in the kitchen, and it can be very demanding. And when I found this space, I said, okay, I just want to open up an art gallery and screen films and, be happy with just the creative aspect of it. But as an entrepreneur, you need to survive.
Right.
You need to pay the bills.
Right.
And that's when I said, okay, it came with a kitchen. So how am I going to go back to the kitchen when I told myself I would never go back into the kitchen? Because it was traumatic for me. I said, I don't want to go back to a place that, didn't serve me
Right.
in any way. It was great that I was making food, but it was not safe. So that's when I just started to say, okay, I'm going to just use myself as an example and see how can I process not just, if I can process my PTSD through art, then how am I going to do that with the kitchen? So let me figure it out. Because I really don't have time to waste. I have to pay rent.
Right,
and I
right.
have to survive.
Right.
And that's when I looked at the food, and it didn't happen overnight. It was a process. I had to lose a finger almost lost a finger, while I was
Oh
in
my God.
discovery mode and
Yeah.
seeing how can I, approach the kitchen. And it was a dance. It was a dance where I hesitated, I pulled back, I went back, and that's when I cut my finger because I was just filled with a lot of anxiety. And then I pulled back again, and then I said, okay, let me just reframe my thoughts and look at this plate and look at all of this food and the colors. And then I looked at the color. The prominent theme in my artwork was gold. So what color evokes gold in food? And that's when I said, okay, turmeric, saffron. And I started playing with food and just recreating those colors onto the plate. And that's when I realized, wait, this plate is a blank canvas, and I can turn that into a work of art.
What year would you pin this down to? I know
This was when I opened this spot.
yeah. So like 2020
2023.
2023.
I held my first art exhibition,
Uh-huh.
and that's when I said, okay, I'm going to unite the food that I'm going to exhibit along with the art. And I married all of those components, the colors, the ingredients, and then it wasn't just the ingredients, but it was, okay, this is the food I grew up eating. This is the food that nourished me while I was going through what I was going through, and just the food that felt like home growing up.
Oh, I forgot to ask. That's very important. What is your background? What is your ethnicity?
So I was, and I get, I like to tell people I'm human. I don't like to label myself as a specific ethnicity because I had to do a lot of unlearning of growing up in a very cultural, being conditioned to think and be and behave a certain way, which didn't serve me. It just suppressed my true essence of who I really am. But not trying to knock down my culture. I love my culture, but there are some aspects that it does shave off a good portion of who you really are. And when you're trying to re-identify yourself in who you are, again, you have to unlearn all those conditioned elements. I was born in the birthplace of Mahatma Gandhi, which is Gujarat, India, but I did not grow up there. I grew up in the UK and I came to the States.
Okay.
I've lived a good chunk of my life all over the world. My parents are born, my mom in Uganda and my father in Kenya. And I do speak a handful of languages because of our global backgrounds, being dispersed from Uganda when Idi Amin took rule, having grandparents in Switzerland, and then relocating to the UK, and all of these.
What a story, by the way.
Thank you. And
Wow.
having 4 continents of being exposed to 4 continents: Africa, Asia, UK, and the US, and then maneuvering around that too, the socio-political, economic, and societal pressures and demands, and just trying to figure out, okay, where do you fit in?
Right.
So when people ask me what ethnicity you are, I like to say I'm human because like everyone else, we're all heading the same direction. We're all just coming from experiences. And I think if anything, it's experiences that has shaped me who I am today.
Wow. Wow. That's deep. I wasn't expecting. That's really deep. That's amazing. No, because like you give a great picture of your journey on how you came here, and I see it within the food. I see it within the multiculturals that you influence within the gallery, and I mean the girl power as well too.
Gotta have the girl power.
So it's like it's definitely a great painting of seeing how you got here and stuff like that. And it's like, so did you always know how to cook? Did you have any school time for that as well too, or you just learned that?
Like I said, I've worked in the kitchen. I've worked alongside many chefs.
And you just learn from working with chefs.
I did train with a chef. I did train with a Michelin chef.
Oh, nice, a Michelin chef, nice.
And, it's demanding. It's very precise. It's very particular.
Right.
Executing it, and I'm really grateful for those lessons. It was tough, but it was very structured. And I think for me, having that structure and a systematic approach to laying out the food helps me compartmentalize.
Yeah. Compartmentalize, yes.
How I'm going to distribute this dish, this cuisine, how I'm going to lay it out on the plate. So it just keeps things organized and efficient. Once I know that, okay, these are the ingredients I'm going to work with, this is how it's going to be plated, and then just, I can go on and on about food, but it has to taste good and feel good. It has to, that person taking that bite should have that nostalgic, experience that triggers them to a happy place. Because food is a universal love language.
Yes.
And that's what brings people together. And when I put the name, the table and gallery together, it was to honor unity,
Right.
bringing people together around the table, but you break the ice around food.
Mm.
You know, meaningful conversations happen around food.
Yeah.
And I would always like to say this cheesy thing that there are no starving artists here at the table and gallery. Everyone always gets fed. You know, I love
Yeah.
feeding people.
And you have so much like choices within your cuisine. Like you have a menu every single month, and a different menu every single month. I said a menu every single. Of course, you got a menu every single month. A different menu every single month, and like even your brunch menu, and like you have so many different choices, and it just shows like just like how many different types of diversity that's within the art gallery that you bring in, and with people from around the world, which is insane. Who's your favorite so far to have come and shown their art here? Well, I won't say favorite, but like
everyone's my favorite.
yeah, I don't want to do
because
favoritism.
they each have something to offer, and
Right.
what I like most is that I learn from them. I learn so much about their background, their experiences, and then, you know, I just take a deep dive. Like, okay, what were you eating when you were making that? You know, what did you grow up eating? Like one of my artists, you know, I was putting her initials on the dumpling, so I was painting her initials on each dumpling and really curating and customizing that menu according to their background, picking and extracting colors from her artwork that would be prominent on that dish. And I learn from each one of them, but I also like to continuously challenge myself.
Wow.
And say, okay, let's look at that art and let's see what comes at you. You know, I'm seeing, you know, purple yam noodles. I'm seeing bok choy because of the green that's flowing around. I just really connect it to whatever ingredients that comes to my mind when I see that artwork.
Wow.
I'm not saying that I'm going to go out and I'm just going to start grabbing every octopus that I see because it has tentacles, but every piece, but you know, has something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome, and I really enjoyed. I remember there was one lady that had like the curtains, and it was like was it Awaka in Mexico?
So she was, yes. So she was the exhibiting artist, and she's also a resident culinary chef. She's an indigenous
That's dope.
Oaxacan, and she honored her culture by putting corn husks and chili peppers, and a lot of it is collaboration. So then we collaborated with. Can I just shout out their names?
Yeah.
So yes, Sarahi. She is our resident chef. And then we collaborated with Calling in Love because they actually source their cacao from Colombia.
Wow.
So it's coming from the ground. So we're like, okay, that I had that aha moment. Let's add that cacao into the mole. You know, let's make it happen. And it's just like, it's also me being the connector and connecting everybody.
Yeah.
Because everyone can learn from one another. Like you will have something that will be of great purpose to someone else.
Yeah.
So I always preach it's collaboration over competition. My biggest competition is myself. And for me, it was, you know, New Haven found me. I was looking for a safe haven where I could feel safe. And to be honest with you, I had no intentions of doing any of this to talk on the mic, speech.
Oh, really?
I had social anxiety.
No table gallery?
No, like
elsewhere?
this was not part of the plan. The plan was me to hide out back there and just head down and just do what I had to do.
Get it done.
But everybody wanted to hear my story. And the more I shared my story, the more confident I became. That, wow, you know, my mess is a message of hope for someone else. And in return, I was turning my wounds into wisdom. And it was benefiting not just me to heal, but it was also benefiting others. And I said, you know what, if I can share my story and say, listen, if I can do it alone with no business partners, no investors, just me, then anyone can do it. But it's not just me anymore. It's a community. It's a very supportive community, and I'm just blessed that I'm able to attract like-minded, just like yourself, into this space.
Yeah, and you know, I gotta say, since I've been here so a few times, I have definitely gotten a sense of like New Haven community here. I definitely have, and in a sense, it's like so different from what's down the street. You know, like this is kind of downtown as well too. So, like downtown, you don't really see that type of like atmosphere, and you definitely bring that. I gotta say, like it's really dope because that's what made me like understand more of how much of a real person that you are as well too, with just about the environment that you have here and stuff. Sorry, I did.
No, I love to hear this. No, I'm
Because
really.
it's just like like you could find some type of cultural great stuff around New Haven, but downtown seems to be like exclusive from that. It's more high class uppity, which you know it fits how beautiful this space is. It fits it, but you also have that realness here as well too. So I really love that.
Thank you. And I feel that it's as exclusive as it is, it's understanding that the main component of this, one of the main components and the foundation of this business is that I gave birth to the Table and Gallery as a result of my healing and transformational journey. I invested in my personal development. I kid you not, I was a hermit. Being in concrete jungle was a bit traumatic for me to deal with so many people.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, I feel that if we are not healed, then we can't create. We can't go on to do greater things in life. So creating a safe space where the kitchen is a safe space, where we can learn and support one another, where we can all just collaborate and create amazing, you know, projects and so many things we can do when we just all come together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up more of your time because I know that you are a very busy woman. But
no, I'm just grateful you came, and I'm
Oh.
no, I'm just like no, I'm really happy to hear that. You know what you just shared, that really made my day, because as a founder and entrepreneur and being new in New Haven, so I've been here a year and I'm still discovering, I'm in my own bubble.
yeah.
So I'm always open to feedback and, you know, suggestions. And do you have any suggestions? Because you interview so many people.
Yeah, I've interviewed a lot of people so far. I mean, I don't know. I'm actually learning a lot off of like you. So it's not. I don't think I'm at a place of of any suggestions yet, because I'm learning so much from just you and the people that are around you and stuff like that. Like Tabiza is like that's my homie. Like you know,
Shout
what I
out
mean?
to Tabiza.
I'm a pupil. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy seeing and learning new things and stuff like that, which is why I was very, very like when we talked about at the beginning of the show about how you was like, oh, you do photography, and like, oh, I don't even do photography for like a few months. My real thing is audio. And
I know. And I was like, no. It doesn't matter if you're doing it. At least you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you're making it happen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a big deal in itself.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, but it was really because of Zakar. I met Zakar for the first time that night when she performed, and
Really?
she put me on the spectrum
Aw.
to work at Stella's and take photos there and stuff. Now I'm building my
Nice.
portfolio. Like, you know what I mean?
See,
So
that's what's up.
Right.
That's what's up. Bringing
Right.
people together.
it happened here. You brought that to fruition, really.
People bring it to fruition.
Right.
And I have to say, you know, just a shout out to Zakara, shout out to Travis. Can I just shout out to everybody?
Yeah, shout out to
I want to shout out to every single person that I'm working with. I have to shout out Executive Chef Royale, who's part of the team, Chef Lily, Chef Michaela, you know, resident Chef Sarahi, who are helping me. And, you know, it's not just helping me, it's now, this is the Table and Gallery. It's about the people. It's not about me. the plan was me to be in the backside and just allow every single talent to come through here and shine and flourish. And I want to continue supporting every single creative that comes in here to give them a platform where they can showcase their talent and just let the world know that they're here. I mean, our gifts are meant to be shared with the world.
Yeah.
And with every single creative that I've collaborated with, Calling in Love, Malka, Yehuda, Manaham, they've all been just a great support, and just in general, the city of New Haven, I have to say, much love to everybody that just really understands and even walks by and just, even if you're not coming in, but you're just walking by and just like looking at me and giving me a dap. It's a lot.
There's a lot of people did walk by or just like, oh, what's this? Like while we were talking, I noticed that a good about 10 people I saw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're going to have to start giving autographs.
Right? Well, Sonal, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I definitely want you to come back on next time, and maybe we could have like a panel of like great, powerful women to just tell us what the deal is, because that would be great.
You know what? Yes, trailblazers.
Hell yeah.
Inspiring many, many others.
I hope this wasn't, was that comfortable for you?
This is like no joke microphone here.
Yeah, it's a condenser. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?